Hey Tool Nuts, I'm Doug with toolnut.com. So today in this video, we're going to be going over the new Milwaukee M18 Compact Router. So you can see I have a lot of stuff here laid out on the table. The main part of this video, this is going to be part one. We're going to really just concentrate and run through the main router itself. Some of this other stuff that I have pictured here, as you can see, is available separately as an accessory, which again will go more in depth in part two of that video when it comes to the plunge base, offset base, and other accessories that can be used with this. So, M18, this tool right now, or actually it looks like they're only going to offer it as a bare tool. Bare tool meaning you don't get the battery, you don't get a charger, and there's no case that comes with this router, all right? So out of box, you're getting the router itself, okay? I'm gonna take the battery out of here, out of the shot. So you get the router, all right? You get the standard base. You're getting the dust port for the standard base with that, all right? You're getting 2 collet wrenches with that. You are getting the edge guide to work with that also. Comes in the box. And the other thing that comes with the router when you buy it is going to be this larger base with the template guide hole into it, all right, which is going to give you more stability. And like I said, you could put template guides into that when you're using it. So that's everything that comes in box when you open it, all right? And this is a 2723-20 compact router. So everything I'm going to be doing today, we'll run it here in a couple minutes just so we can see how the dust collection is. All the specs that were done on this router were with the use of the M18 REDLITHIUM 5 amp hour battery, all right? You can use any of the M18 batteries on the Milwaukee platform with this, even up to the 12 amp battery, which is a big boy. If you had to do it, you could do it. You'll get longer run time, but it's going to be kind of top heavy and odd, but in a pinch, you can do it. So any M18 battery can be used on this, but again, everything that they spec this router to was with the use of the 5 amp hour battery. So you can see I already have a bit on this router. I'm not live here, so I can touch it. I've already put it in the collet, all right? This router will do up to 250 feet per charge with a 3/8 roundover bit. I have a Cove bit on here, so it's almost the same thing, all right? So up to 250 feet on a single charge with the 5 amp hour REDLITHIUM battery, all right, is what this is spec'd for. Fast and accurate cuts. It's basically like you're using a corded machine. Out of box, I was really impressed how, all right, so out of box, actually, let me go through with this. So this was a little tight on and off, and I believe on the plunge base too. Never, if it feels like it's restricted to you, never force that. There's a possibility you're gonna crack it. All I did was I did a slight, maybe quarter turn on this Allen key right here, or Allen screw, to loosen that up to get it to where it's still snug, but not too hard to close, all right? So I'm gonna open it up, and there's a detent button here. All you do is you push that, and it slides right off the base, all right? Nice and easy. You can see there's an inch scale. There's also a metric scale here, all right? Your variable speed is located here on that, which I believe goes from, I think it's 10,000. Let's see here. Let's see, I saw it somewhere. 10,000, yep, to 31,000 RPMs, all right? Depth capacity on this is 1 5 inches. Adjustments, you can do in increments of 1/64th. Right here, 6 speed settings, and the collet. Only collet available for this is 1/4 inch shank bits will work in this, all right? So it's a 1/4 inch collet for this because it is a compact trim router. You're not gonna be able to put a 1/2 inch bit in that, all right? So only 1/4 shank, uses any brand bits, all right? Standard size or sub base opening on this is gonna be 1.5 inches, all right, and then weight 3 pounds, and you're looking at 6.9 inches in height, all right. So that's the router there. All right, so back to it here. So inch scale, metric scale, fine adjustment. This is your on-off button. So first thing I noticed, I like how compact and easy it is to wrap your hand around this when it's in the base. The diameter of this is nice and small. There's other brands out there similar, but I really like that. You know, the ergonomics and feel when you're holding this in your hand. You know, you can wrap your hand almost all the way around it. So I really like that. So to put it back in here, just to show you, again, you're going to hit this detemp button here, and then you can slide it. That's your quick adjustment if you want. And then you also have your fine adjustment on that, which if I go up and down, you can see it's coming further out. Go in with it. So that's your fine adjustment, and you're locking that down. Don't do that when it's locked, all right? You could possibly strip that out, all right? So again, variable speed here, 10,000 to 31,000 RPMs. Quick brake, phenomenal brake. I'm gonna go live with this real quick just to show you. My hand's out of the way, the bit's in there. LED lights come on. All right, so LEDs are nice and bright. You can see what you're working on there. Quick brake. I like that. All right, so I've already installed this port that comes with the unit. All right, that I tested with a 27mm hose, goes on the outside. 36 will go on the inside of that. All right, in millimeters, someone will probably ask, so let's measure it here real quick. So outside diameter is 1.5 inches on that port, all right? Inside diameter, you're looking at 1 3/8. All right, so 1 3/8 inside diameter on the dust port, and 1.5 inches on the exterior. All right, so that's what size hose you'll need if you want to use the dust collection. It's the same exact port on the plunge base for sizing on that. All right, again, we'll go into that in a second here, but we're going to just run a quick run on that. Super easy to install. You get the pin there to hold it in place. Unscrew that, pops off if you don't want that, or it's restricting possibly a cut somewhere where you won't be able to spin the unit around to use it that way. I've already installed this on there too for your edge guide. So undo that. Edge guide goes on. That way, if you're using a straight bit or another bit where there's no ball bearing on it, you know, as your guide, you can use this. Again, the other base, you can use a template guide instead also if you're following a pattern. We'll go through that in a second. And then you have your adjustment on your edge guide there. All right, so let's plug this thing in. That's generally what everyone always wants to see. Actually, collet change. So again, sorry, bouncing around here. Push that in. Detemp button here locks the collet. All right, then you're going to use the larger wrench to loosen and tighten that. I've already snugged it. Don't go too tight. I always see that a lot where people get the bit stuck in there because they've over tightened this. All right, and then this other wrench they do give you if you weren't using the detemp button, put on there, and that's for that. Okay, so the 2 wrenches come with that. Again, those over there, and never bottom out your router bit when you're putting it in there. You never want to shove it all the way down in there because we've seen them get stuck with multiple different brands. If this arbor gets really hot, it expands, and a lot of times you go to loosen this, you're not going to get your router bit out. Like I said, I've seen that in a lot of other brands, not necessarily this one. Just a quick tip on that. All right, so I'll slide this back in. Again, hit the detemp button, slide it in, adjust it. I fine adjust there. I'm locked in. All right, I'm going to put my safety glasses on, and we're going to get this vacuum going. And we're going to go live with the tool, make sure I'm at full RPM here. And see how good the dust collection is. All right, always remember left to right when you're routing. All right, put my safety glasses back on. I'm going to turn the unit on. not too bad. Got the majority of the dust there. You can see there's a little bit here. I'm using one of the more compact vacuums. Maybe a vacuum with a higher CFM would do even better with that. A larger diameter hose also always helps with that. We're going to be going through the accessories that are available for this unit. All right, so these are sold separately. They're available on toolnut.com. This is going to be the offset base, which we'll go through in a minute. And this is going to be the plunge base that's available to go with this. Again, sold separately. Everything I'm showing here is sold separately on this unit. All right, so probably the biggest seller is definitely going to be the plunge base here. All right, so with the plunge base out of box, all right, you got the plunge base, you got the dust port. To install this, you got two knobs there, and then you have this silver bar here. You just pull that out, pops right out. Really easy. If you want to use the dust collection, again, pop that back in there, goes through, and you are tightening the knob. All right. This in the other video, I did state inside diameter hose for this is going to be a 1 3/8. Outside is a 1.5 inches. So 27 millimeter inside, 36 millimeter outside. There are a bunch of brands that have those size hoses available. You might have to find a dust port adapter. All right. So again, that comes with the plunge base here to get the main part of the unit in there. Again, I showed this in the other video. Press the detent button here, pops out. I'm going to take this side here. Again, open this. In the other video I did state this was a little tough to close when I took it out of box. All I did was take an Allen key and loosen this screw here. You never want to force it. You want it to be snug, but you never want it too tight to where you possibly break that. All right. This does not work with the fine adjustment in this base. The fine adjustment is only for the standard base that the unit comes with. All right, so you're going to lock it down in there. All right, and you have depth stop here. It's in both inches and metric, so you have both. And then you have your steps here, which I believe are in 1/8 inch increments when you adjust them for that. All right, and you can just tighten it, set your depth, and if you spin it around here, that's your plunge right there. All right, nice and easy. You can lock it into place at different depths that you want, and then go about your business. All right, handles, ergonomics, I like on this. All right, that's basically it for the plunge base. All right, so let's go to offset base. So a few things to go over this. I actually did read the instruction manual. Very rare for me to do that. I generally don't like to, but if you're not watching this video, I suggest you should. So with this, when you take it out of box, you're going to get this. You're going to get this adapter here. All right, and this is the important part. You need this to have that work with the standard unit. All right, so I've already removed the 1/4 inch collet from the main unit here. All right, I've already unscrewed that. This, you can see, is square. All right, this is going to thread onto this, and it's going to meet up with this here in the center. Okay, then you're going to take the collet that came with the router unit, and it screws onto here. Okay, that's where your router bit's going to be. All right. Now, it also comes with an Allen key. Allen key you're going to put through here, the hole. All right, and that will keep this from spinning while you're trying to, tighten up your collet. All right, and put your router bit in. There's also a fine adjustment on this base, which I'll show you in a second here. All right. So I've already opened this. Have our base here. Again, you're going to screw this on here. Have your button here to lock this, and then you can take the wrench that comes with the unit, snug it up. Doesn't have to be super tight. Don't over tighten that, okay? That's locked in. Now, this is where it took a little bit doing. You got to match up the square here with the square insert there. So you're going to drop this into there. Let's see, it's not dropped in all the way. What I did is I looked through here, and then I slowly spun this with my hand, with my fingers here. Again, battery's off. This is not a live unit. All right, and now you can see I found the sweet spot, matched up square to square, slides in, then we're locking that. So we're installed now on that, okay? So now we can put our collet on there, get that started. Just be careful. You can see I'm having, there we go. Don't want to cross thread that. All right, so you start that. All right, mostly on there. Get my wrench. All right. Quarter shank again, I went over that in the other video for the main unit. It's the same thing here. All right. I just have a cove bit here. More than likely, you're probably not going to use that style bit, but you can. Again, this is an offset base to try to get as close to an edge as possible where there's a restriction here. Okay, that's a good example right there. That's where that's going to be used. All right, again, I'm just using this for demo purposes. All right, again, goes in there, it's loose. All right, you're going to snug this up. Again, watch your fingers. I'm doing it here. Allen key, I didn't pull out of the box. I'm going to put the Allen key there. That's going to keep that from spinning while you're tightening. All right, I'm not going to tighten it all the way. Let's actually get out. You know what? We do need the Allen key because I want to show you something else. There's a fine adjustment on this. So here's your Allen key. Like I said, once you spin this a little bit, define it, this will go all the way through and hold that to lock the collet. So for fine adjustment, there is a fine adjustment here on the top. You can also take the Allen key, plus minus here, in here. All right, again, I'm not live, and you'll be able to see if I want to increase the height, I'm going to turn it. So it's a fine adjustment. There's basically a pin in here as you tighten or loosen it that's going to move in and out, and it's going to push on the shank here on the end of it to move it in and out of that base. Again, very, very small increments. That's just for fine adjustments. All right. I think that's everything on that base. All right. And actually, you can see now I moved it in a position where I could get that Allen key through there to lock the arbor for when I want to snug up my bit. Now it won't move on you when you're doing that. And you can tighten it again. Never over tighten. And get my fingers out of the way there. All right. Router bits are super sharp. And there. Just snug it up. Doesn't have to be super tight. Take that out, and you can see I can carefully spin that without cutting my fingers. All right. Okay, so that is your offset base. Pretty sure I hit everything. If I didn't, I missed something, comment below. Let me know what I left out. All right, so this is the standard base that came with the unit. With the unit, you also got this sub base. You can see it's a lot larger here. You're going to remove this one, take those 4 screws out there. All right, and you're going to replace that one there. Give you a lot more stability, but the biggest thing, straight bits or other bits that don't have a ball bearing on it for your guide, you're going to use a template guide. All right, so here's a set. Milwaukee makes one too. There's multiple brands that make these. They're template guides or guide bushings. Standard US guide bushing. All right, come get a lock nut. Got different sizes. Again, that's going to follow whatever material you're working on without the use of a ball bearing or a pattern that you're trying to follow. All right, once this is mounted to that, this then goes through here. Lock nut goes on the back. Snug it up. Get your bit height set. You're ready to go. All right, so again, template guides will work with the base. Again, this base came with the main unit, the standard base, the dust port. They also gave you the edge guide. We'll go through that in a second. We'll touch back on that, even though I did it in the other video. Went over the template guides. Quarter shank bits, we are going to be bringing in some sets of Timberline, which are made by Amana. Great price point router bit. We're going to have those in sets for quarter shank compact routers. And then we'll also have them in 1/2 inch shank. So that's another accessory for you. Again, can use any brand of router bit as long as it's quarter shank will work on this unit. All right, D10 pin. I still have the offset base on there. Doesn't matter. I'm just going to show you how real quick. You know, we'll take this off. So I didn't go over that in the last video. Super quick and simple. Pops right out. Port comes off. All right. Again, you might have some restrictions sometimes where this might get in the way if you're trying to spin the router around, or you're restricted, so you can remove that. But then you'll have some dust. And okay, edge guide. I've already installed this here. And again, you can use this if you didn't want to use a template guide or a router bit with a ball bearing on it. You can also use the edge guide again, which comes with the kit for the router with the main unit. If you lose it, I'm sure you can buy another one either as an accessory or a part. All right, so snug that up. Then you have your adjustment here, back and forth, depending on how far off you want it from your bit. And then that's just gonna like that. And always left to right when using a router, left to right, right? And I'll come out further, you know, but that would be more in the center. Maybe you're doing a straight bit, you're grooving it, doing a dado cut in that. Could also do it that way and start at the edge here and work your way in. All right, so plenty of adjustment there. Just always make sure to always double check all of your turn knobs to make sure everything's snugged up. Tempo guys, router bits, base. I think we hit it all. So again, main router when you buy it, 2723-20, unit, standard base, standard dust port, larger base for template guides, edge guide comes with it, 2 wrenches for your collet, and the standard 1/4 inch collet comes with it. And then everything else I just showed you in this video is available separately. Everything is on toolnut.com. Again, this is Doug with toolnut.com. Thank you for watching. Comment below and subscribe to our channel. Bye.